As soon as the term is over, he used to pack and he used to go to his grandmother's house. He used to spend 2 months over there and he used to return to his college. That girl actually, she asked him, would you like to buy baskets from me? So he said, what will I do taking this basket? The girl said, are you sure you don't want a basket? Then this author said, okay, give me one. Let me just buy a basket, he says. He asks him, where is that girl? Have you seen that girl? Where is that girl? He asks him. That station master says, no, I don't know. Hello everyone, I am Dr. Shalini, Professor of English, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Today we are here to understand one of the lessons prescribed by University of Mysuru for 2nd Sem B.B.A. This is from your prose part. We are going to understand about the night train at Deoli. So what is it that we have in this module today? We are going to understand about the author first, then we'll look into the glossary, then we will move on to the summary. Okay, so let us start by learning about the author. So the author of this lesson or this short story is Ruskin Bond. It is a wonderful story and you already know that Ruskin Bond is a wonderful writer. He is an Anglo-Indian writer, is an English writer basically, so he is from England. So Anglo-Indian is his origin and he is a wonderful author. He was actually famous for his short stories, essays and novels. So his novels have those tender love, tender romance or maybe some ethical values that are given. So all these are there in his novels and also the short stories. So most of his books actually were written for children. So you can call him as a children's writer. So most of the short stories he has written are actually regarded by children. He was actually awarded with this Sahitya Academy Award and also Padma Shri along with Padma Bhushan Award. He has a lot of awards for his and accolades that he has got. So let us start with the lesson now. Before that, we need to understand few new words that are there in this lesson. So we'll just read the glossary which will help you to understand the lesson when you read it by yourself. So first word which we have come across, we'll be coming across is eloquent, that means fluent. So it's talking about some speech or communication that is there and that is eloquent. So you say somebody is eloquent speaker, that means he is very fluent in that language. So that is eloquent. Then we have clanging. Clanging is to ring, that is ringing sound. Okay. So maybe somewhere the bell is clanging, that is nothing but bell is ringing. Then we have jolting. Jolting is abrupt movement, like the train moves, stops, moves, stops. So that movement of train is said to be jolting here. Fine. Then we have smoldering. Smoldering is to burn slowly without the flame. So there will be little fire only, but that flames will not be visible. Fine. So that will be there and that type of burning is called as smoldering. When you light some flame and it's going to go off, so that time the last minute burning, what happens? So that is called as smoldering. Then we have impulse. It is a sudden desire to act. So the author feels the impulse of taking that girl away with him. So that is called as impulse. So there you come across this word. Then we have recede. Recede means to move back. Fine. Proceed, recede. Recede is the opposite of proceed, means to come back. Then wrench, a feeling of sadness caused by someone's departure. So my heart wrenched is what you say when somebody who is whom you like very much, they go away from you. So that is wrenching. Then we have brood. Brood is to think deeply without happiness. Fine, you brood over some mistake of yours or something like that. That means you don't cry, actually you don't weep, but you feel that sadness that is there in your heart. Then we have the last one is shriveled up. Shriveled up is nothing but aged. Here the author uses this word in order to talk about the tea stall owner. So he was a shriveled up man. Fine. So shriveled up you're talking about when you're talking about the age of that person. So here the author is talking about the tea stall owner, but when you're talking about something else, like some things you're talking about, that means it is dried up. Fine. So that is shriveled up and you also can use it not only on people, but you can also use it for things. But when you talk about things, it is dried up. But when you're talking about humans or animals or something, it is aged. Fine. So these are the new words that you come across in the short story. So let us begin to understand the summary of it. So this story was written in the year 1988, and the protagonist, that means the lead character of this story, was studying in the college. So this is an autobiographical story that is written by Ruskin Bond, and this is written when he was when he was at the age of 18. That means he has written it much later, but he is talking about his this incident when he was at the age of 18. So, at the age of 18, this has taken place, and he used to spend his vacation at his grandmother's house at Dehradun. So, Deoli and Dehradun. So, Deoli you come across in the title of the story. So, Deoli is a place on the way to Dehradun from his college. Okay, so probably he was studying PU or anything. So, he used to go to his grandmother's house in order to spend vacation. So as soon as the term is over, he used to pack and he used to go to his grandmother's house. He used to spend 2 months over there and he used to return to his college. So he would go during May and return in July. So May, June, July. So in mid-May he used to go and he used to return in July, that is in mid-July. So 2 months of vacation he used to spend over there. So Deoli was 30 miles from Dehradun. So he talks about miles here, not kilometers. Fine. So, he is an Anglo-Indian writer, so that is the reason he has used miles. And also, earlier in those days, kilometers were not that very well famous. Fine. So, miles were the most commonly used measurement for distance. So, that is used by him. So, Dehradun was the later station and Deoli used to come first, that is from his college. So, when he used to pack and get into the train, he used to get Deoli first, then he used to reach Dehradun. So, Deoli had only one platform. So, Deoli is a place wherein the train stops. So, it had only one platform. And there was a tea stall and there was an office kind of thing for the station master. So, it was a very limited place there. It was a very small place also. Fine. He is talking about the platform here. He explains about the platform over there. So, what and all were there? There was a tea stall and there was only one place for the station master. So, it was a very small platform, means only one platform. There were 2-3 trains and all never used to come. It was only one platform. And there few people used to come and sell something. That is the hawkers used to come and sell few things. The author does not know why the train used to stop at Deoli because no one either got into the train or got out of the train. So Deoli was such a station where the train used to pass that Deoli station when it was supposed to reach Dehradun. But there was a stop in Deoli. There was no use for that stop to be there. But there the train used to stop for 10 minutes. Fine. So the author also doesn't know why it used to stop because no one used to get into the train nor they used to get out of the train. So he has noticed that. Many times he has visited that place, isn't it? So on the way to Dehradun, there is a place there and there he has waited so many times and still he doesn't know why the train is stopping over there. So it used to stop there. Probably after that Deoli station, the forest used to start. So that is the reason maybe the train used to stop there so that they can have some refreshment. For 30 miles, there never used to be any stop in between. So maybe he thought the train might give a break to the passengers and all. So that may be one of the reasons why the train stopped. But the author is not sure about why the train was stopping over there. So it used to stop there for 10 minutes. So maybe the author thought that one day he has to break his journey over there in Deoli and he wanted to spend one day in Deoli. So that is because he wanted to know what is there in Deoli. He wanted to explore the place, that is Deoli. Fine. So he wanted to know what is there, why does the train stop here, what is the speciality of this. So all this the author has thought. So that is the reason he wanted to break his journey once and he wanted to spend one day in Deoli. But he was not sure whether there were places for him to stay and visit also. Okay. So that is the reason he didn't want to do it, but he was thinking of doing it one day. So this is the beginning of the story. So then he goes to his grandma. He reaches Dehradun. He goes to his grandma. Then while coming back actually, the train stopped at Deoli. So the train actually stopped over there. And there comes a girl who was selling baskets. So she was also a hawker kind. So she was coming there in order to sell baskets. So naturally she came to this author also. Author was sitting inside. This girl came with the baskets. So he just looked at her. The girl also stared at him. So both of them, they stared at each other. They just looked at each other. It was like she was very beautiful. Though she was dressed in rags, she was looking very beautiful. Her eyes were actually very captivating. So that is what the author too felt. So the author was captivated by her beauty, means he was attracted by her beauty. So more or less he almost fell in love with that girl. So at first sight only he has fallen in love with her. So what he just thinks, he without even being aware, he just got up and went out of the train, that is from his place. The girl didn't even call him. The girl didn't even ask him to do anything. He's simply looking at her and he just got up and walked off the train. So you might be thinking like this is something, some incident that has happened in movies and all, isn't it? Yes, the same way it happened. The author just got up and left the train and went to that girl. So then he did not know what to do. He did not know what to say to that girl. So he just went and he just stopped at the tea shop there. So he went to have tea. The girl also followed. So the girl follows him to the tea shop. The author bought a basket from her. He didn't know what to say. So he just bought a basket from her. So that girl actually, she asked him, would you like to buy baskets from me? So he said, what will I do taking this basket? The girl said, are you sure you don't want a basket? Then this author said, okay, give me one. Let me just buy a basket, he says. So he buys a basket from her. The guard now blows the whistle. That is, it was already 10 minutes that the train had stopped and the guard blows his whistle. So the author had left. He suddenly ran into the train. As the clanging of the bell was heard, he actually ran back to the train. So the girl was there looking at him. The author also, from inside the train, he's looking at the girl now. He just left the place. He didn't want to leave that place because the girl was, so he was attracted to that girl. So the author got into the train and the girl stood watching him and smiling. So she was just smiling. He had the basket in his hand. He was also smiling at her. So now they part. Then this girl was there in the thoughts of the author. So that was she was always there in his thoughts. Now he has started going towards his grandma's house, right? So that girl actually is in his thoughts only. The rest of the journey he could not sleep at all. Fine, because he was thinking about the girl only. So you might also have experienced it, isn't it? Just recall your memories. Then this had happened with the author. Then he reaches the grandmother's house, that is Dehradun, and he forgot the girl. That means he reached the place. There were so many other distractions. He had forgotten about the girl only. He spent 2 months over there happily with his grandma, visiting the places here and there. Then he remembered her only when it was the return journey. So here he had to go back to college, isn't it? So this happened while going to grandmother's house. He had to go back to college. So that time he remembered that girl. So as soon as he got into the train, then all the thoughts started coming to him. That time he recalled that girl also. So he was thinking whether he will be able to meet that girl or not. When he saw the girl, as the train started approaching Deoli station, that girl was there. And yes, he was very happy looking at the girl. Okay, so what did he do? She too felt happy when she saw him, and he actually smiled at the girl. The girl was very happy because he smiled at him, and also she was happy that he remembers him. So both of them were very happy. So it was like they wanted to share something with each other, but they are not able to do it. So now the train was approaching the station, and the girl is waiting for him to come down. So he just comes down. He just gets off the train and he comes down. They were actually about to start a conversation. That means the train stopped there. He was just looking at her, and this author actually goes to her, and she thinks that he is going to buy another basket, and she wanted to take out one basket, but he holds her hand. He was like, don't take a basket. I want to talk to you. It was like that. He was telling like that. So he just holds her hand. and he was like he wants to tell something, but exactly at that time the guard has blown the whistle, that is the train has to move. Now with lot of difficulty he just got his hands freed from her hand and he left. The author ran back to the train. Then while going he just asked her, I'll come back, will you be there, he says. So the girl says, I don't know. Then he promises her that he would be coming back soon. So before leaving, he just says, I want to go to Delhi, but the girl says, I don't want to go anywhere. Fine. So that time, when the guard blows the whistle, that time the author just gets into the train and he says, will you be back? Will you be here? I'm going to come back. The girl says, I don't know. So he promises that he would be coming back. And this time, what happens? She was there in his thoughts throughout. So he was not able to forget her at all. Even after reaching his college, he was in her thoughts only. Okay, so he could not get rid of her thoughts at all after that term. So that term was over somehow with her thoughts only. He completed that term and he was packing to go to grandmother's house. So as he was packing to go to grandmother's house, he was thinking about that only. He was thinking about that girl only. He was thinking that I need to spend little time there with that girl. Then I need to think what to tell her. So he was all prepared to say what has to be told, and he was simply preparing in his mind only what has to be told to that girl. So he packs and he goes to his grandmother's house. Then what happens? He was very anxious about that girl. So the train, when it reached Deoli, he was very anxious about it. So he was thinking, I'll tell this to that girl. I'll convey whatever I have in my mind to that girl. So everything he was just thinking, cooking in his mind and all. So the train actually reaches Deoli. The girl was not seen anywhere at all. So now he is very sad. The girl was not at all seen anywhere. Now he is little worried. Why is the girl not there? So many thoughts start coming to his mind. The author, what he does, he just gets down and he goes to the station master. He asks him, where is that girl? Have you seen that girl? Where is that girl? He asks him. That station master says, no, I don't know. She is nothing to me. I don't know, he says. Fine. So then he had to leave again because it's already 10 minutes. So the author leaves the station. He could not see that girl this time also. So that is the first time when he is there now after this term. She has actually won his heart, but he hardly had any conversation with her. Only once or twice he has met her. Only twice he has met her, but he was not able to convey whatever is there in his heart. Now he has lost her probably. He could not meet her, so he has lost her probably. Now she is not there. What to do? He is little worried. Fine, he goes back to his grandmother's house. So with difficulty, he spends time in his grandmother's house. So he felt bad for not having met that girl. Then he was afraid to break the journey also. He didn't want to stay back there because he was afraid. He didn't know whether he'll get a train back again to his grandmother's house or maybe to his college. Or he was also afraid what and all situation that girl might be in. So he feels very scared about it and he thinks, no, I will not break the journey. He goes back to his grandmother's house. Then he was not able to spend time over there. So what he does, in a hurried way, he just comes back. The grandma is actually very unhappy with the visit of this authors. She actually tells him, why have you come and all. She is very unhappy with that because he is going very early this time. So somehow he escapes from there and comes back. He goes back to this Deoli station. Then again, he is not able to meet the girl at all. Then he was actually scared to wait there because as I told you, he was worried about the journey back. Then he goes back to the the tea stall again. So he asks her, what happened to that girl? Do you remember that girl? Where is she? He asks him. But that person says, no, I don't know. She is nothing to me. Why should I inquire about her? So I have not done it. I don't know where she is, he says. Then finally he goes back to the station master again, thinking he might inquire. But sadly, to his unfortunate endings, the station master was transferred. The old station master was not there and there was a new station master. So he doesn't know anything about the girl at all. So then what happens? He comes back to the train, sits in the train and goes back to his college. So while going, he keeps thinking, what happened to the girl? So then he didn't want to break the journey at all. Then if even after that, even now, even these days when he goes back to Dehradun, So like in order to visit few places or anything, he doesn't break his journey at Deoli. That is because he was very scared. If the girl, maybe she has got married, he will not be able to take it, isn't it? Maybe the girl is no more, or maybe she has shifted to some other place. So all these thoughts come to his mind, and he feels, no, I'm not able to take anything that has happened to that girl, even if she is married or even if she is no more, anything for that matter. I was in love with her. I cannot take it whenever she's like whenever I get to know that she is going away from me. So he thinks like that, and he didn't want to break the journey. So this is what happens to the author. So Ruskin Bond has actually explained very well. He has depicted very well the tender love that starts blossoming in the author's heart, but at the same time the first love itself has gone without even taking a shape. So this way Ruskin Bond has explained, he has depicted all these like a kind of painting in his work. Fine. So it's a wonderful story. Please make sure you read it. Fine. So each and every dialogue you can read it. It's just a matter of 4 to 5 pages. Okay, you need to spend maybe 15 minutes to read this story. Fine. So this was the summary of the night train at Deoli. So I want you to read the story, each and every dialogue, so you can experience the tender love that is depicted by Ruskin Bond. Fine. So thank you for your time. Let us meet again. Please read the story and come back to your physical classes if at all you have any doubts. See you soon in a more interesting session. So take care, keep learning. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.